The challenges to these Libertarian candidates were filed by 6 people who claim to be Iowa residents, 2 from each congressional district. But the Libertarian Party of Iowa says that these objectors didn't in any way have to verify who they are.
Their addresses on their objections are not listed. We have no way of verifying that they're actually residents of those counties. Thank you.
State Auditor Rob Sand, a Democrat who was the only official on the 3-member state objection panel to vote to keep the Libertarians on the ballot, echoed those concerns.
We just have 2 names from 2 people who if they haven't provided an affidavit, that they live in the state of Iowa and they haven't provided their address, I don't know if they've met their burden. But obviously the other 2 folks on the panel weren't concerned about that.
The other 2 people on the panel that ruled on the complaint were Republican Secretary of State Paul Pate and Republican Attorney General Brenna Byrd. Alan Ostigren, the attorney for the objectors, say they didn't need to provide any verification.
There's nothing in the code that requires it to be done in a sworn objection, just to simply state in writing what the objection is.
We checked out the law, and here's what it says. It says that objections to a candidate's eligibility may be filed by anyone who would have the right to vote for the candidate for the office in question. Iowa's law requires you to provide identification to vote, but we couldn't find anything in it that requires proof for someone trying to remove candidates from the Election Day ballot. In his dissent to taking the Libertarians off the ballot, Sand says that since these objectors' addresses and registration status weren't provided to the panel can't just assume the objectors are valid objectors. Pate says it's unfortunate to have to kick someone off of the ballot, but candidates need to make sure that their party followed the rules, and in this case, the Libertarian Party didn't follow the rules for its county convention delegates. So their nominations of the Libertarian congressional candidates were not valid.
It's not an ideal situation, but the rules are the rules, and I, as a commissioner of elections, don't get to make them up. I get to enforce them as they are.
At least some of the objectors are involved in Republican politics. In his dissent, State Auditor Sand says that he doesn't think that those Republicans have the right to object because they're not Libertarians, and the objection was based on the Libertarian Party's internal party processes. At the Iowa Capitol Bureau, I'm Connor Hendricks reporting.